Hi everyone, welcome to a Bitcoin market update on the 18th February. So Bitcoin yesterday broke above $50,000 and continues to look strong, along with the fundamental good news which just keeps on coming from institutions buying. And again, we heard MicroStrategy announced yesterday a convertible bond offering that will allow them to put even more Bitcoin on their balance sheet, as Michael Saylor cannot resist to buy more Bitcoin. Technically, looking at the chart here, you can see we've got a fib extension, and as well as breaking above $50,000 yesterday, Bitcoin has now broken above the 786 fib extension level, which was acting as resistance here the past few days before yesterday. In terms of price targets, first target remains the next fib level up at $54,000, which we are now fast approaching. That may prove to be the next point of resistance in the near term, but beyond that, assuming a strong bid continues as new participants scramble to enter the space, which we believe is likely, then it is possible we see price reach the 1.618 fib level. And that provides us with a target of $70,000 over the coming weeks. If we take a quick look at Predator indicator to give us a sense of how things are performing across different time frames, you can see Predator continues to be bullish on the higher time frames. So here the 12-hour, the daily and the weekly, all showing the green trend continues to the upside. Just a bit of caution in the near term. You can see on the 1 hour, the 4 hour and the 8 hour, Predator indicate that we may need to pull back, which is probably likely given that funding is currently quite high and we may need to flush out some of those high leverage traders on the lower time frames. If we look at some on-chain data now and also some data from exchanges, we can see Bitcoin held on exchanges here. This is using glassnode.com data. We can see the balance of Bitcoin on exchanges continues to decline as people purchase Bitcoin off exchanges to HODL in cold storage. And that is shown here on this chart by the colored bands decreasing. You can see since March last year, since then, the amount of Bitcoin held on exchanges has continued to decline at a rapid rate. And this is a bullish signal, as it means that people are not looking to sell their Bitcoin in the near term, as they want to hold their Bitcoin off exchanges. And as long as this metric continues to decline, I find it very hard to be bearish in the short term. Just one other thing to note on this chart, if you look here, you can see we had this spike in price in January 2017, looking at the last market cycle, and the decline happened once we started to see the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges start to increase again. So that is something just to keep an eye on this time around, to see if we see that same thing happen again. As Bitcoin comes onto the exchanges, that might give us a clue as to where Bitcoin may need to top out in the short term. Now, looking at another indicator, this is the Pi Cycle Top indicator available on the live charts section of the Decentrader website. This has successfully picked out each of the major cycle highs since 2013 to within 3 days. Now, this happens when two moving averages cross, and in this instance, it is the 111-day moving average. When that crosses up above the 350-day moving average times 2, so that multiplying the values of that 350-day moving average by 2, and you can see if we just look at the last cycle top in 2017, when those two lines cross, that coincides with the top of the market cycle. Now, obviously no guarantee it's going to happen again, but it has happened for the past 3 major cycle tops, and it also got pretty close to within 2 weeks way back when price of Bitcoin was jumping around $1.30 way back in 2011. And if we look at this indicator currently, you can see that the two moving averages are getting quite close now. So this is definitely something to keep an eye on over the coming weeks. However, even if Bitcoin does go parabolic over the next few weeks and tops out in the near term, we do believe that this will only be an intermediate high within the larger market cycle. Lots of evidence to support this, and one of those pieces of evidence is the 1 year plus HODL wave chart, which is again available on the live chart section of the site. The orange line on the chart here shows the number of people who have hodled, i.e. not moved on chain to sell their Bitcoin for at least 1 year. So this is the percentage of all Bitcoin that is just being hodled for at least a year, and you can see at the moment that is still up at 57%. So 57% of all Bitcoin has either been lost or is being hodled, not moved on chain for at least a year. And what you can see last cycle and in the previous cycles is that as price goes parabolic, this line goes down as hodlers start to cash in their Bitcoin. And what it's showing at the moment is that the figure is still very high, and I think we're probably going to see that number remain high until Bitcoin starts to approach $100,000, by which point long-term hodlers I expect to take some profit. And I imagine we will probably top out this cycle when this indicator is around the high 40%, so probably like 47%, something like that. So definitely keep an eye on it, but for now we're quite far away, and that suggests to us that there is still plenty of upside in this market cycle. So overall, things continue to look great for Bitcoin as we now move further into the bull market. So enjoy these times, and if you want to learn more about these sorts of indicators, more about trading and analysis, head over to Decentrader.com, and I'll see you there. All right, enjoy these times and speak again soon. Thanks.